Welcome to the newest episode. Is this episode 9?
We missed a week.
We missed a week. We missed everyone last week. This is probably so loud you might not be able to hear us. Maybe we should unplug this. But welcome. This week we are covering cloning. And we're going to just unplug this because you probably can't even hear us. But this is an Aeroponic Cloner right here. And hey, Nick, do you mind checking to make sure we're actually streaming all right, by the way?
That's it. You read my mind, man.
Thanks, bud. So we got Nick Flanagan here, JT, the rad scientist, and myself. I think a couple others might be coming through, but the weather's a little rough. But today, it's going to be awesome. We're talking aeroponic cloning. JT, what is aeroponic cloning?
I feel like that's a relatively new science of plant propagation. I don't know how long it's been around. I feel like I've only heard about it like since knowing you.
Yeah, so I mean, like hydroponics is growing in water, so it's ponic means working, hydro means water. So aeroponic would mean making airplanes work for you.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
It's air-based hydroponics, basically. So let me show you what we've been up to. So I set this up a week ago. In aeroponics, and this is called a turbo cloner, and if you're going to buy a commercial unit, I will say we're going to build. So today I'm going to go over this unit right here, and then we're going to jump right in. We're going to build our own cloning unit. But first, let's talk a little bit about aeroponics. And I want to look at this commercial turbo cloner, which is similar to what we're building, right? So if you pop the lid off, right? Check this out. I took these 6 days ago now, and I am already starting to see some roots and some swelling. So you'll see some bumps and swelling. So I took this 6 days ago, and that's great, right? Like that's really fast results. And the reason why aeroponics works so well, so I was reading about some research where comparing it to hydroponics or soil-based, right? So if let's start with soil. Let's say there's a 60% rate of success, probably about a 9 to 10 days before you actually get roots. Hydroponics works a little quicker, a little more effective, let's say 80% success rate, about a week. But when you start adding oxygen and water, and oxygen is key for root development, roots actually require oxygen and actually emit CO2 while the leaves are where your oxygen production occurs. So having that mix of oxygen and water at all times allows for much faster root development. 4 to 5 days, you'll start seeing roots, which is incredible. So this is the fastest, highest rate of success. So 90 to 100% success rates typically from that study. So aeroponics, ultimately, it is the best way to clone from a technical perspective and from a performance perspective. Now, the parts that are hard about it are, it's not very easy to have continuous water misting in the air, right? And so the way we do it, if you look on the underside, there's a pump on this turbo cloner. This is called the manifold, and so water turns on. Actually, JT, you mind plugging this in? It is out of focus, so you can see spraying everywhere. And actually, one of those nozzles, and this is why aeroponics is tricky. You want to plug that? One of the nozzles, you guys probably can't even tell, is clogged, and these guys clog so easily.
There's such a small hole, letting just like a fine mist out.
So this little guy, right? You can see it's jammed up. Now to clear them out, you can poke at it. I need something. Just get that grime out. Yeah, if you don't have an immune system that's used to this stuff, I would do what I just did. It is clogged. Something got jammed up in there. And so these things clog up. So you got to monitor on a regular basis. Make sure you're not clogging. I see a hair coming out of this guy. And I tried really hard to keep this clean, but it just inevitably happens. So you got to check them. Because that's the one downside to this, is these pumps, they tend to jam up. Or the nozzle sprayers. So just keep in mind of that. That being said, I love this system in particular, these turbo cloners. One of the challenges, like we're going to build our bin. See how this has got like this rim here? So when the water sprays up and lands on the inside of this lid, it then drips down onto the inside of that and then doesn't spill over. But most bins, right, they're made so they're kind of overlapping, and so we have a fix for that. We'll show you. We figured it out with a couple tries. Yeah. Anything else? Domes, right? So this is the dome for it. You'll see some people not use domes when cloning. Now, you want your humidity for above to stay 60 to 80%. And so this room, it's about 30 to 40% right now because it's winter time. So I'm keeping that dome on there so the plants don't just wilt over. Once they start taking and the roots start popping out, I'll probably take the dome off at first, probably for a couple hours a day, and I'll start extending it to more and more.
They have to be acclimated. They can't just go straight from 80% humidity to like 30%. That would be probably pretty hard on them.
Totally, and that's one of the tricky things. Sometimes when you like start a plant out or get clones going, they're in this like really nice soft environment with high humidity, no wind. They get totally shocked, so you just got to ease them out of that. And it's why if you can, let's say your ambient humidity already in your room 60 to 80%, it's going to go better on a transition perspective if you never use the dome. That being said, we needed to use it. Anything else we should cover? Oh, one cool thing about the turbo cloners, they have this fan. And I think that does, so you plug that in, that's blowing air into the reservoir area. Why would you want that? I think two things. One, it's improving oxygenation, but it's also keeping it cool. A lot of people will tell you that if you just keep a pump running nonstop, the water gets really warm. So this is going to keep the whole system a lot cooler, which is really important because if it starts getting warm, you'll start getting rot.
Yeah, it gets the pumps heat up as they run, especially if they have a small volume of water. So the water's not there, not as much water there to cool them down. So it probably needs the fan on it to get it.
Just too hot.
Too hot.
And yeah, so some people, another way, if you don't have a fan like that, and this fan, by the way, anyways, if you don't have a fan like that, you can put an interval timer on so it turns off every few minutes and lets it cool. The other thing, I think it's pushing the air up and keeping the humidity up in this dome area a little bit better, a little fresher. Yeah, I love this thing. It's lasted me, I've had it for almost 7-8 years now. So real solid, really well built. If you're going to buy one, this is the unit I personally like. Easy Clone's great one too, very similar. But let's get this out of the way. You want to start building one?
Yeah.
All right. So I've seen a lot, and tell me if anyone knows of a really cool tutorial out there. Let me know. Logitech StreamCam. Oh, gee, Logitech StreamCam is actually a really good audio source for us on this.
Oh, it was muted when you swapped to walk over there. So
really? Okay, sorry about that, guys. I found it sounds like it's got really good playback for you guys. But everyone out there, if you're listening, let us know. Are we live still? Yep. And all right, so should we do anything before we start building? Do we want to review anything from the week or any of our old stuff?
maybe we can look at our old stuff
Yeah.
at the end, and then we'll start off with the building our own clone.
Let's start building. All right. So should we show? We showed you the unit already, and let's start building it. We're going to bring out all the stuff we need. All right. So these right here, I'll kind of walk through it as we pass through. These are clone collars. So when you cut your clones, you're going to put your plants right in there. And they're going to sit. I think this, let me switch to the iPhone. I think this is kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah, trying to focus.
Or, let me fix one thing, actually. I know it might help. I think I can put this. Sorry, one sec, guys. I apologize. As always, we are having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to get a Logitech screen cam. I'm just going to make it so it is manually. That made it worse. All right, never mind. Tried. Sorry, guys. Someday we'll have good equipment, but until then, you're going to have to suffer, and I apologize for that. So is it working, by the way? Is the stream coming through on our...
It was, yeah.
Okay, cool. Good.
Could check the audio too well, just because, cell phone.
All right, cool. All right, so let's see. Do you want to start pulling this over here for me?
Yeah, so you want to explain the things as I...
Yeah. Uh-oh. It definitely says it's waiting. Oh, gosh. Jay, you said we were streaming, bud?
Yeah, it was coming through.
Okay, cool. All right. Weird. Okay, that preview was not working. I apologize. All right, we are good. I apologize for that, people. All right, so back to this. Let's start building this system out, okay? So to start, I'm going to show you, should we go through all the parts we're going to need, or?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So these are called cloning collars, and these are what? We're going to cut holes in this top, and we're going to squeeze these in here, and it's where the plants get held, so it keeps water from leaking outward, but it keeps the plant nice and snug. These are soft cloning collars, which I'd highly recommend using. They're nice and soft and squishy, so they're not going to pinch the plant too much and harm it.
They're also satisfying to squish.
They are satisfying to squish. Squish. This is a ruler to measure stuff, which we're going to measure tubing. This is how we keep it from leaking everywhere, right? So I mentioned that, you know, water is going to spray up to this lid, and then it drips over the outside and out. So what we're going to use this weather stripping for is we're going to create a slight rim above, and that way it all stays flush to the lid and then drips inward. And it tested it out. I tried a couple products. I got this other one. It was like this putty material that you could put, and it comes in strips. I forget what it was called. And then I read the cancer warning, and then I looked into it, and it leaches chemicals. So I was like, I'm not going to use this for an aeroponic cloner. This is silicone gasket, silicone flushing or weather stripping. 1/2-inch rubber tubing, or flexible but stiff, pretty good. The parts, oh yes, okay, so we're gonna need 3 T's, 1/2-inch T's, 4 elbows. These are elbows, and stay tuned, you'll see. And then 8 360-degree spray emitters. Okay, and this bin right here, $5 at Dollar Tree. Sick. Perfect. If you're looking for a bin like this, try to get something that's solid. And also, I really find it way easier if you have a flat top like this to work with. So, step 1, do we want to build the bin? Let's drill some holes.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Or, yes. Now, let me show you how to do this. All right. Should we do that? Should I grab the block? We're going to move some stuff out of the way. Okay. I grab this wooden block right here.
Oh, so you don't drill through the table.
So next, we are going to make this. So we're going to turn this into this. And that way, just to show you why, we can put a plant in this, and then you squeeze it in, and look at that. It sits nice and snug. All right. Now, should we do this all? Is it worth, do people want to see this out there?
Do you want to hear the drill and drilling the holes?
So, all right. So,
You want to see the outtakes live?
the way I like doing this is I use this to create.
That's clever.
Thanks, bud. Great. Let's see. So you pop out the ones you're going to want to use. I think we might be. We have a Mountain Dew down. That's not good. MD down. All right. I'm trying to figure out like the pattern I'm going to use. So let's see. Let's go like that. Just got a little turn around. 3, 2. We might need, oh, we're missing inserts, that's why. Okay. 2. All right, so pretend there's something in this hole right here, but look, so now I'm gonna actually trace these with this marker right here. And we remember not to trace that guy. Oh gosh, Mandy normally does the tracing because I am. Look, everyone's got their skill sets, okay? And this tracing, I really not my skill set. Anyone else's? Anyone better at tracing than this?
Well, I guess you can just do an X through it and then have the middle be where you put the drill.
Oh, that's so smart, JT. Like that? that didn't. Well, even that I can't do right. You guys can't really see, but that's not a good X. All right.
Or do a pizza style. And then closest to the middle is going to be exciting.
It doesn't. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to, I mean, it looks better when it's perfect, though, right? All right. So the moment of truth. It worked. All right.
Those are circles, all right.
They are. Do you want to do the drilling? Let's see.
Sure.
All right. So you want me to show you how I've been doing them?
Yeah.
We got a little system here. All right. So this is a hole saw, right? So those are 2-inch. Sorry. These are 2-inch coverage ones, right? So the hole saw I'm using is 1 3/4. So that way it's a little snug on this guy. So use a hole saw that's slightly smaller than the collars you're using. And let's start with one. Let's start in the top corner, I guess, right? Let's put this right like that. I'm going to start by going forward, but once it's through, I'm actually going to then start going in reverse. Okay, the reason I do that, if you go forward, you're going to wind up ripping it up and probably cracking the plastic. And I just realized this is making a giant mess, so I'm going to move this to a table where we don't make this mess here. Or should we just use the lid that we already cut holes in?
We showed how to
No
do
one needs to see how to do all of them, right? You got the picture. All right.
Oh, and that piece that's left over, you can actually keep and add to your circle collection.
Yes, you can. So we made a giant mess of plastic here. That's okay. Let me grab something next. The next thing we're going to make.
It's quite a piece of wood, by the way. That wood block is. It's thick.
That is a solid wood block, isn't it? All right, so I want to talk to you guys about how to make this guy. Now, this is the manifold, right? So water goes through the pump, sprays up, sprays out into this, right? So the way I made this, ready? You're going to need to take a piece of tubing. I guess this is all something we probably don't necessarily need to do every step of, do we?
We probably just do.
Or we can if we want.
Yeah.
So I'm using a 396 pump, 396 gallons per hour. And that's been a great amount of water. It's a fine balance. If I want it to be pretty strong so that way it actually reduces the probability of a clog occurring and helps push through the clogs. But if you really push it crazy, you'll start having water shooting in every. Might be overkill. I don't know if it'd be bad for the plants, but it'll start spraying out the corners potentially. So, so I did and to cut this sort of tubing, you can use just scissors. I love having a tool like this. This is nice, So first you want to create a riser, okay? And so I did about 3 inches. I'll just show you. And the way you use these, you just put them in here. Boom. So.
It's about 75 centimeters.
All right. And so that will elevate up, right? And then you're going to pop your sides. Should we build this?
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful. Like, I know that if I had to do this from scratch, I would probably be fumbling around with what I should do first.
I'm on it, JT. All right, so let's do this then. Put this to the side. So let's just build it one piece by one. Actually, do we have any warm? I might grab some warm water for this to drink.
Yeah, pump some tea through it.
All right, so now let's see. Is this a good angle? It's really weird because it's showing that no one's on, but you can definitely do and it also wasn't showing on the preview. What's this? Go to.
Say it live.
Okay, you're seeing us, I guess. So yeah. See what I mean? I don't get that.
Did you refresh did you just open them?
But yet. Oh, this is under the wrong.
Oh,
Weird. Okay, I'm sorry. It showing the wrong title for what this is. I guess I hit publish from the, but I totally hit that. So I'm sorry, guys. Don't even worry.
caring for clothes.
Okay. Anyways, well, we will fix that later.
Yeah.
But it's streaming, so that's good. Okay. Back to this. So my apologies. It's weird though, the comments aren't coming through.
Are there comments?
So it's like, I had an issue the other day with Ecamm. It literally streamed, but never streamed to the right source. I don't know what's going on with it. But it looks like we're streaming, right? For sure.
It's there.
All right, cool. Well, forget it.
See if that comment went through.
It's not. We're not seeing any comments because I saw comments on the appropriate one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's all right. We can just, yeah. Do you mind responding to comments? Yeah. Sorry, people out there. If you're listening and commenting, we can't see them we're having some technical issues. But let's keep building. Let's just we'll just keep going. All right. So next step, I'm gonna build the cut two side pieces. And these guys, you want to measure and if you can measure and cut, I'm gonna go grab some warm water and make it easier to get them on. I'll be right back, guys.
Jeff says, "Can you hear me?" Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
So it looks like this piece. About 4 inches. So I'll measure that. Looks like we need 4 of those.
JT, I'm just kind of curious. Well, you know what? I'll pop in a little bit. But so, you know, like, I know that this is like sized for, you know, like a tank of like this size.
Yep.
Is there any particular way in which you guys arrived at like this particular set of dimensions for that?
Oh, that's a great question. Like why that manifold or why
Yeah.
this? So I actually wanted to get one. That's a great question. So I wanted to use these seat starting domes right here. And so I was actively looking for one that would fit, and this is as close as I could get to that. I have to put a little piece of duct tape to keep it in, but I wanted to use one of these, you know, domes. If you don't want to use a dome, the other thing you use is like clear plastic cups on each plant.
Oh,
You
interesting.
know, I was thinking. All right, so I'm gonna dip these in, and if you try to get these tubes on to these tees without warming them first, it is really not fun. Really not fun. So,
Yeah, you'll hurt your thumbs and stab yourself with the little tees a
yeah,
few times.
yeah, it's unbelievable how much easier it makes things.
So it looks like we have 2 6-inch ones.
All right, so Commander's on there. All right. What's up, Commander? We missed you tonight. So are these the ones? These aren't. Which ones were these? Oh, the outside ones?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me build those with the elbows. Can you give me these two guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you have the.
Great. All right. The lovely rad scientist over here. These might be too short. I'll go a little long. Banana pipe.
2 inches.
Yeah.
Just a little too short.
Want to try it? I mean, we can try. Let's see. Will these work? Let's give it a shot.
Well, this is a little over 4 inches, so this should be just enough.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you doing them? Thanks, bud. Sounds like the audio's okay. All right, perfect. Let's warm these guys up. Did not warm them up enough. All right, that's good. Slide these T's on it. Okay. You, sir.
Yes.
Awesome. Connect these guys to those. To that?
Yeah.
I will get these guys going. So I'm putting the ends on right now. Like that. All right. Boom. One end. Electronics and water. Nothing's safer.
Yeah, all these
Nothing better.
laptops and cameras around. We have to just make sure that
Apple should know this is what we're doing.
we should make sure that we don't accidentally test it before closing the lid.
That is a fact. Or a great suggestion. All right, so now we got this, right? Now we're just gonna square it off. Did this make sense for everyone?
Make 2 squares that are attached in the middle.
Yeah, 2 squares. We're 2 squares.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. All right, look at that. That looks pretty good, huh, JT?
It does. Just have to chat up here.
Okay, so now you want to pop the whole. We got to get these guys in, which is super fun to do. Super fun. All right, so we're gonna put 2 here, and you want to make sure you can always twist the tube if you put it on the wrong spot. But if there's 2 next to each other and they're not on the same line, one will be going one way and one the other, and you can't fix it. You just have to replace the tubing.
Okay.
So let's get going.
I'm just gonna scratch a little
Precise.
line. So it seems like punching the holes last is the best way to go with this, because it's going to be easiest to get the holes in there or lined up without twisting the tubes all over the place.
Yeah.
So like here.
Looks good. Did you get it? These are so fun. I've done a bunch of these. My hands feel great from it. So you gotta really get them started. And once they're in, then you can start twisting them. And they're threaded, so they literally will screw in like that. Almost. Okay. Now, I don't know if people feel like seeing us do the rest of these. Should we do a couple more? Do one. Yeah. We can get one done.
Is right about
Perfect.
here.
Cool. And all right, again,
Just so
we're
we
just
can see
gonna
about how
jam this in. Okay. Now my fingers are bleeding. No, I'm kidding. I'm being a baby.
So you do 2 in each section of, or on each side?
Yeah,
of the
so
rectangle?
here, let me just watch this. I'm going to snap my fingers. Snap my. Oh.
Oh, no.
I hate when that happens. I knew that was going to happen. All right, so I just broke this.
Be careful trying to remove it. Good to know.
So, luckily, we're at a store where we got spare parts. I'll be right back.
So then I guess 2 on either end, 2 on either side, spread as evenly as possible.
I literally have All right, found it. Sorry for the delay, people. All right, so don't do that. Got a spare, luckily. So I'm gonna push this on now, and as you can see, so should we get this in the tub?
Yeah, let's try it out.
All right. Clean up a little. I'm gonna bring that tub over. Perfect.
Add some of the
So I'm just gonna use, we got this bin now, and I'm gonna put 5 gallons of water in here. This is a 10-gallon bin, so I'm gonna fill it halfway. Actually, and before that, oh geez, I forgot. Next step, we gotta put the weather stripping in. So I found it a little easier to kind of cut ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold this and help me kind of. We got some scissors. And I'll cut a little extra, but it's just easier to work with if you get about the right size in. So let's cut that. Okay. Thought that would make it easier. And leave plenty, a little extra. Now we tried this, and the first time I put it flat on the rim, and that didn't work great. And what actually works great is, Mandy's got the touch for this. I wish she was here to help. But is, let's peel this, is to put it just ever so slightly above the rim. So right like that. Actually, let me show you guys kind of from our angle. See just a little bit of a, because you want it to squish, right? When you push down the lid should create some push down on it, and then it's going to squish and it'll be sealed. So we're going to try to keep that sort of consistency on the entire thing. Okay, how's that looking?
looks straight.
Alright, can you hold this so it can get wrapped? Feel free to get a stick. Alright. Cool. Lip. Yeah, I did not cut enough. My gosh.
And you gave it like some pretty
I
good
clearly did not do a good job. That's okay, because watch this. I'll just cut more. Tiniest little piece. Thanks, bud. Definitely not the greatest to make mistake like that. It's better to have one continuous piece. I'm going to squish this guy in so it's like
overlaps.
Yeah, just really put some pressure. All right, I think that'll hold it.
We'll find out.
We will find out. Maybe the first night. All right, so I just want to make sure it's definitely like, because I found the first time I did it, I had a couple spots that were a little low. I really like this stuff. This is a tear shape, by the way. Tear shape weather stripping. All right, so look at that. Nice little rim on it, all around. Make sure there's no down spots. So I saw right there. So it looks a little low right here. I'm gonna pick that up. You see other spots? Just kind of pulling it up. Make sure it's sticking up more. Especially actually sometimes towards the middle. So this guy latches down on either end. So it's like
So these are like the weak spots.
that's where the spots where it almost was leaking over on. So I think that's gonna be pretty good though. All right, let's test it. Ready? Will it? This side right here. Oop. A little higher. There we go. Might be a little too high. How's that look? Good. All right. Let's pop this guy. Well, first, should we put this in?
Yeah.
All right.
Dump the water.
Let's put that in there, and I like this. See, now it's got the spacing on our side. Oh, and one thing with this bin, it's got these holes here on either side. So I'm just going to put some waterproof tape over those, so that way it doesn't leak out of those.
Yeah, that would have been a pain to like discover later.
Yeah. I think I might have the first build. All right. So, all right, JT, will you do the honors?
Um,
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I still want to dump it on your laptop and
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for this. All right. Cool. So it's probably tough. Maybe we should switch to the phone. Kind of get a sense what this looks like now. All right. We can put the dome over just to see if it's working. Okay. Let's get a quick test.
let me know when you're ready.
This is not. This is gonna spill everywhere. But
3, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, as he
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Oh, that was close. I'm not sure how to do this.
Oh wait,
Oh,
let me
it's
just
fine,
do
it's
this
fine.
and then put the.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right.
That's smart. That's smart. All right.
Look straight into the hole.
And that, ultimately, that's just going to be a humidity guard, effectively.
Yeah. Although, yep. Did you plug it in?
Ready?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
yeah. All right. Here, pull out for 1 second. Let's do it just the dome. I want people to be able to see it. It's worth it. I'm gonna ruin all of our equipment.
Here, you hold the dome. You want to plug it in?
Absolutely.
Oh, you got it.
I'm feeling a little thirsty, too, man. You know, I could just put my face in there.
Oh yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Oh, look
that's
at
great.
that.
Okay, and that's
magic.
definitely squirting onto your
Yeah,
laptop,
that's
so
where
we're
I got
going
a
to stop.
laptop. So that is some good misting power. Don't worry, I need a new laptop anyways.
Does Apple Care cover that?
Yeah.
Not if they watch this live stream. All right, so back to this. All right, cool. So it's working. So next step, let's get this thing operating and let's get some clones in here, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah, what are we gonna clone?
What are we going to clone? What do you want to clone?
Oh, what do we clone in the Gardin lab?
What do we clone in the Gardin lab? What are we going to clone in the Gardin lab? We'll need to make a new dance for next week.
Oh boy.
All right, so check this out. I'm going to put this cord through. So one of your holes, by the way, it's a 12-site cloner, 13 holes. One of them is for the cord to leave. So I'm going to put it right through there. Clip it in. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, and rotate that little cords on that side if you want to plug it in. And oh, before we do that, let's fill up the cloner with our neoprene inserts. So this guy, well, like that.
Oh, perfect.
Nick, do you care?
Oh,
to
dude,
do one?
I'm absolutely.
It's
I mostly just want
fun.
to squeeze it.
I love these things.
These ones
This
have
is like
the
a
best
stress
squish
ball.
to them.
They're really not fun,
I think I bought a set of these just because I liked how they squished.
right?
I don't even
Oh.
have a cloner like that.
Plus, if I feel like it would be really satisfying just to poke this and pop it through,
Yeah.
but I probably shouldn't. Willpower,
Right?
restraint.
Oh, it's actually really annoying. They pop through. You have to pop the lid off to get them out, or you just let them float in there forever.
It's true. You could always just get a new one.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, that's why you get extras.
Someone should make them with a ledge around them.
Right?
Track the days of the week by popping your clones through.
All right. Cool. All right, that's looking good. So, should we go get some plants? Now, right now, right? So we're going to take some clones. And I'll tell you this. There's a lot of talk about like what works for clones, what doesn't. The number one thing, if you want cloning to work, it's about the health of the mother plant, right? Like if you take a really healthy plant and cut a clone, from my experience, it just works. Now, using rooting gel, it can help. Getting the cloner set up right, it's really important. But that, to me, I've taken from a healthy plant, like outdoors in my yard, I've literally like cut, I think it was tomatoes, smacked them in like some soil, come back a week later, and it had rooted, you know, just because it was such a vigorous tomato plant. If it had been a sickly one, it would have taken a year, even an aeroponic one.
I feel like we did that with the passion fruit too. We just like cut off pieces and stuck it into a pot of dirt.
Yep, yeah. So, all right, what do you guys want to clone today?
What's clonable?
What is clonable? So the cool thing is it's not like grafting, right? Like when we did grafting, certain plants like monocots can't really be grafted because they're structured down. Monocots are great for cloning. Seems like just about everything can clone, right?
Let's clone some weird stuff.
Let's clone some weird stuff. All right, I'm going to switch to the phone. I'll press the button on there. Where's our button system? Yeah. All right. All right, let's go.
That's kind of interesting. So, like, I heard dicots, right? That was a thing from one of the earlier episodes.
Yeah.
So that was the idea of having a bark on the outside and then like an internal layer as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
are either of those like more clone than other? I mean, I feel like a dicot would be much more robust in that sort of scenario.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you JT, you want to grab the scissors? I'll let you guys. Should I be the camera guy on this?
Go for it, bud. I mean, I can camera.
JT, you want to grab some scissors? If you can camera, I'm going to grab some cloning
All right.
gel too. I'll be right back, guys. Do you want to start
All right.
cutting stuff that's we got some cloning gel right here, actually.
All right.
All right. Let's get. What are you going to try to clone? Well, we're going to find out. I like it.
Well,
this.
Oh well, don't even need the scissors. I just ripped it right off.
Alrighty, nice job, JT. All right, so rooting gel. Normally, you can take like a little an angle cut. I'm not even sure where the nodes are.
Yeah, it looks like there's maybe.
All right, JT, you want to grab a few more, and I'll bring this back while you're doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get this guy. I'm gonna break off this. This is a pretty deep jar, so I should have gone shallower, but I just want to dip some rooting gel on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And that's going to help. That's got this compound called auxins in it. This is an auxin, I should say, and that promotes root growth. And it's interesting because there are hormones, plant hormones, and I learned about this recently, I didn't realize this, that like kelp has hormones that promote leafing growth, right? Cytokinins is what they're called, that class, and they're at odds. So if you start giving a plant tons of cytokinins, it reduces root production, it increases leaf production, and auxins on the flip side, like this, produce tons of root production and reduce like the dedication of resources to the leaves. One time I wanted to see what happened. I was using this cloning. It was actually a solution that you would dip in, and I just poured it in the cloner, and the plants have been doing well, but weren't really rooting out well. And all of a sudden, they started developing roots so aggressively that the entire plant turned yellow and died, and roots exploded, and then the plant died. I was like, okay, wow, that caused rooting. This is tricky. I'm not sure what to do here because if I put this in there, I'm gonna snap this. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, unfortunately, because I should have just buried this, but I couldn't get it straight. It would have just gone upside down back to itself. So,
Oh yeah, cause the curvy.
you know, I don't think this is going to go well. So let's get some new ones.
JT's on it.
I'm sorry about that, plant. I'm going to throw the stuff with the gel on. And actually, I bet you if I just pop this guy somewhere, watch, I'm going to literally leave this like this, and that jade will probably take. That's another way to clone.
So it is rescued. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Good luck, little guy.
Well, JT is over there. Let me grab. There we go. Let me grab some clones from over here. Let's see. What looks pretty? This is a pretty little guy. This is a pothos. I forget the variety. This is a pearls and jade pothos. I love this guy. Let's see. Is there a good one? I want to get something with some stem. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's just a great candidate. So I'm going to cut right below this node. I mean, look, this thing's already got roots, the starter roots coming off. So I'm going to then bring this back over here. And let me grab the gel, though. I apparently put that down. Do you remember where I put that?
I mean, you didn't go that far.
Oh, it was over here, right? Great.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
And this is entirely too deep of a container, but hey. All right, so I'm going to trim off these leaves. And just make a cut. There's already a good cut, but you want like a 45-degree cut right below that node. That's where the main root development is going to take. Some people will scuff up. They'll kind of scrape some of the sides. Just a gentle one, you know. Creates a little exposure. I'm going to take this leaf off too. Dip that in. You want about 10 to 15 seconds in there, like that. And boom. Again, we're going to put this cloning collar around. That was too much gel. If it's dripping off like that, that's overuse. So, yeah. All right, one down. And I guess since this is in here, we should probably get this thing running. This stuff out of the way.
I can hear it.
Nice. Get this stuff off.
Dude, for these mobile shots, it would be really nice if the phone actually showed what the shot was.
Yes.
It's hard to guess.
I feel that. All right, is this leaking? Do we see any leaking? We haven't tested the lid out, but I feel like this looks pretty solid. I'm not seeing any leaking as of now. So
And now that the pucks are in, your laptop is no longer being assaulted by water.
that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
All right, let's get some more clones.
Yeah, let's see what JT's up to.
Yeah, you want to go find JT? Where did he go? JT? Oh boy.
To get eaten?
Oh, he's in the greenhouse.
Oh, that's a good call.
All right, you want to follow him? Yeah, go find him. I'm
All
going
right.
to quickly get something fried.
All right. We're going to go find JT. Oh, he's back. He's coming. Here it is, Dewey.
Got some plants. I just been cutting whatever looks cool.
Let's get some more of these. Rose. You know what I want to get? I'm going to get one from the snake plant.
What's a snake plant? There we go.
Just very gently slide your hand.
Yeah.
You're too far away from
All right, let's keep close. Yeah, I think the iPhone. Sorry, guys. We'll move. My computer's old. Getting a new one.
Oh, did we outdistance the Bluetooth connection?
I don't know. It just doesn't like when we do
All
anything nowadays.
All right.
Thanks for the heads up. Sorry. We're having all sorts of technical difficulties.
Hey, man, more difficulties, more opportunities to fix them.
It's true.
You got to get good.
It's so true. So, switching to Logitech. Can you guys hear us all right now? Sorry about that.
I'll check the stream.
Yeah, we had some complaints. Well, not complaints, very kind. All right, so let's see. So do we need to still cut a 45 on this guy? Let's see this. Oh, thank you, sir. So again, let's just we're gonna put this all right here. I'm gonna cut. Oh, look, there's already roots coming on this guy. What is this? This is Monstera. So it's interesting. There's like roots below the node on that. Nonetheless, I'm gonna dip it. Okay, what else?
This one's I think from your fig.
Ooh. So maybe for this guy, since it's got these huge leaves, sometimes we have some leaves like this. A, it's going to continue to push water out, so it's going to dry out and flop over, but also it just takes up a ton of room. So you don't want to cut off necessarily all the leaf, but you want to cut the leaves down. So let's see. I don't know. I've never really cloned a fig, to be honest. So you fig people out there, people who are into figs are into figs. So this kind of reduces the transpiration from the plant when you cut the leaves like this. What do you think about what I'm doing, JT?
Yeah, I've also heard that like sort of roughing up the bottom where you're trying to grow the roots
Okay.
helps for it to have.
That?
Yeah. So I've been taught. I haven't found any papers on this or tried to even, but just like scratching it. And I think that just gives it places that it needs to grow new cells anyway. So it's when you expose them to the hormones, they decide to be root cells rather than like stem cells. Not stem cells, but like cells of the stem.
Like yes, not stem cells from like the miracle cells that can turn into anything cells, but like established cells from a root. Okay.
Yep.
Sick. Thank you. Good. Ooh, look at that. See how he roughed it up? I love that. Okay. Swirl it around. Oh, what's next? All right, so I'm gonna swirl this guy around. Shake a little off.
This one looked kind of cool.
I'll put this one right here. It feels like it'll do well. We have a fig. Forget about it. Oh. Oh boy. I have a lot of free time. All right, so no leaking still. That's great. Let's see, tomorrow come into it empty. I'm probably going to leave this overnight in a tray so that way if it does leak, it's not everywhere, it's just in the tray. This is pretty.
Yeah, I was looking at a bunch of the red ones that you have in there, but there's no like stem. It's just like leaves.
I think that's enough. Should I take these guys off?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right. So just because I want to make sure, this would be good if we were doing straight like a little like Rockwell cube for cloning or something like that. But with our current situation, sorry guys. Okay, so I'm going to take these guys off so that we have a little more length in the cloner. And I was looking at that turbo cloner, and the only plants that were wilting and falling over, the only one that was the one with the shortest stem by far. So I was like, all right, that lets me know that you need to give it a little more stem. So I'm kind of just trying to spread stuff out so it's not bumping into each other too much. Right, that's pretty. I love this guy. I forget what it's called, but I love it. What's next, JT?
Next is one of your passion fruit plants.
Cool. Trying to make it so it's not touching, but you know what? It is what it is. Ooh, passion fruit. So trim this up.
And these are really cool because they have those little like springs hanging off.
Yes. And they clone really easily. Usually, sometimes. Usually. You need a lot. I'm going to need lots of stuff to hang into that res. And then again, I'm going to cut right below that node. See that node right there? Just a little angle. Scuff it. Little. JT was showing you. Dip it. Let's sit in that. I guess the other thing, this can help. What's the term for when air pockets move into like blood? It's the same term for plants, I guess. You don't. One of the things that putting the cloning gel on can help with, I guess, is by
preventing an embolism.
Embolism. Thank you. Apparently, that's what I was told, at least. So.
About to go scuba diving in like 20 days, so I'll need to read up on my embolisms.
Yes. Where are you going?
Hawaii, actually.
Wait, what? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's always been a dream.
Dude.
It's not the greatest time to spend, like, you know, north of like $2,000 to get this shit done, but like,
dude, that's good for you, bud.
Now or never, bud. Now
100%.
or never. Yeah.
Why would you? That's sick. Whereabouts?
So I'm gonna do initial open ocean certification off of Waikiki.
Nice.
I'm actually showing up early for the trip. Like,
this is
4
tiny.
days.
I cut the orchid a little bit by accident, so I had to cut it short.
Okay. Wow. Look at this. This is an orchid. This is an orchid. Hope this. That'd be so cool if this works. Maybe I'll put this one in with the cord.
Oh, good idea.
I don't know. If
Unconventional.
Actually, no, that wasn't gonna work.
Because the cord's like
Yeah, the spacing. I'd say
Yeah.
dedicated is better, man.
Yeah.
You never know when you need to pop out the cord anyway.
I don't know if this will work, but who knows? You never know. I mean, orchids. We'll see. All right. What's next, JT?
Got a rose.
Oh, beautiful. How do you even? What do we do with this?
count the ways.
I'm gonna leave this
That's
one
what
to
you
you.
do.
Okay. Looks like
That guy is. What do you think? Sorry, why am I holding this?
yeah. I thought you were talking about that one.
No.
Both. So I just tore off this one from there.
Okay. I'm gonna just trim this guy down. Look at that. I bet you that'll take. Doesn't take much, although I will say the bigger the clone to start with, the better it usually clones, and you have a bigger plant to start with.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the camera is like picking this little dude up here,
The orchid?
the orchid. Like, it's so small. It's so small. I'm extremely interested to see how that thing fares.
I am extremely interested. Orchids are weird. They're not. I don't. Sorry, weird. I don't take weird personally. I don't see it as a bad word. So
Unusual.
They're They're
Strange,
just
unique.
unpredictable compared to if you're used to other plants. All right, so we're gonna put 2 of these in one cloning car. Oh, thanks, JT. So one tip. Can you mind grabbing me an extra collar by the if there's one around? Because one tip
yeah.
I've definitely. I'll grab it. I got this. Watch this. So this is something I would suggest doing is having a spare collar ready, so that way you can kind of swap them in and out. All right. Next, JT.
I don't know what this is.
Cool. We don't know what this is.
It's one of those trees over there.
Oh, it's a tree. I think this is a ficus, right?
It had a white like latex coming out of it when I cut it.
That's. And did you eat that?
No.
Good. That sounds like that would be poisonous.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or
All right.
nutritious.
Looks
So
poisonous.
this is nice and woody. I'm gonna do a scrape on this guy. Just show you guys. Just a little scrape on the side like that. Hopefully that helps it. Let's sit there while we're doing the next guy.
I think this is
Got
another
4
kind
sites left. Another. Okay. Okay, so another ficus type plant. Same thing. I clean it up. You know, I trim off all the leaves up. You know, so we'll get a few inches. I'll just do a quick scrape. That might have been overkill, but hey. Soak that guy. All right, and we have. I love this guy. I don't know. I forget what these are called. Really pretty. Great pick, JT. And again, I'm going to clean up a good amount of the leaves on this. I'm going to pull that guy off. Put it in. Gel. What do we got here?
a leaf.
A
Oh,
leaf.
man. That's a thick leaf.
Thick boy.
Is that a like a? I mean, I don't want to throw around the term succulent because I know what succulent means, but I mean, I'm looking at that. I'm almost seeing like aloe thickness.
What is this? Is it aloe? I mean, no, this is
Something else.
the orchid.
Yep.
That's
Right?
an orchid leaf.
Should I put it with the other one?
Oh. See, now I understand why the aloe is unique, or sorry, why the orchid is unique.
I think you can clone from leaf cuttings on orchids.
Really?
But it's a lot of body. There's a lot of meat.
Look at this. I mean, this is not how you should ever do what I'm doing. Anyone? Anything going to take in this?
Do you want to give it some of the rooting stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what?
What?
There's enough. How many spots you got left?
So,
One. I know.
so just have
Wait, no, well,
You know?
I know.
He knows.
you know,
The knowing is
half battle.
half the battle. What was that from G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe.
I never was into G.I. Joe. Were you?
I mean, you know, a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I remember that, you being into G.I. Joe. We've known each other since we were like kids.
You know, what was it like not Shredder. That was Turtles. What was the name?
Still,
of the...
dude, I still watch the Turtles. I love the Turtles. My kids watch it. I like it more, but I really like the Turtles. Love Turtles. Oh, this is sick. This is a inch plant. Super cool.
Why is it called an inch plant?
You know, I don't know, because it grows an inch at a time.
It's one.
It used to.
Oh, tonight's the night.
It's also called the Wandering Jew, but apparently, and I wasn't sure if that was anti-Semitic or anything, but apparently it is. I looked at
Apparently,
the origin of it,
no,
and I was like, oh, geez, okay, yes, that is not.
Matt.
I'm
for,
not.
For the audience, Matt is Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm not into plants, and I knew
What's
that.
that supposed to mean?
Just so it doesn't sound like you're saying like
This day and age, that's a scary thing.
No, but that was a thing. It changed. Like.
Oh wait! What are we doing with this guy? No, I'm joking around. Of course, yes.
So that's like an ivy or something. Like, what's the nature of the plant?
What is this? What do we got here? JT, can you talk to me?
Yes.
He gave me this. He didn't say anything.
This is a ZZ plant.
Ah, okay. We are filling this cloner
I'm
up
hopping
now.
back in.
I love. Do you think this is gonna work?
Yep. That's how I got my first.
Like that? Just like that? Oh, should I dip?
Yeah. I don't think I even dipped mine. I think I put mine straight in dirt.
Really?
Yep. I found a leaf. I was like, ooh. Hi, friend.
Okay. Should I just do like that? What do you think? Is that look good?
Yes.
So I'm a little bit curious. So I kind of get the cloning gel is probably like a hormone.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, to induce root growth. Does the spraying help over because it's like higher oxygenation, right? Compared to like dipping in water.
Yep. So
Is that-
root seed oxygen it increases like the research that I was reading about that it's like 30% increase compared to hydroponics to have that air and water just so dialed because roots developing more oxygen the better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that was like one of I'm sure you guys covered it last week.
No,
You know,
last week we weren't here.
Or no, not last week. I meant the last episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what did we talk? We did mushrooms, which we're about to follow up on
Yeah.
Ooh,
because that was fun. Yeah, it's gone well, really well. It's pinning. But anyways,
All right.
let's.
All right, stick to the.
So does this look? What do you guys think? I mean, we have a smorgasbord of plants right now. It's awesome, and I will say they're going to dry out, and they're probably not going to make it through the night. So I want to put a dome over here. Now,
Let's get in the dome.
this is the dome. Now, unfortunately, the dome leaves some gaps on either side. So the way I've been fixing that, real MacGyver over here.
All right.
Get my duct tape.
Yeah, I was noticing earlier with the sprayer experiment, the open side of the dome was towards the laptop.
We probably should have done it on the other side.
You probably. It's like, whoop, unplug.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna actually do this on both sides, and this is just gonna keep air from leaking out because it's too long. This is really great looking.
Some contains.
I'm really surprised the Turbo Cloner didn't use this feature on.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't add that. It's not very expensive. So
It looks so good.
Well, so I mean, the Turbo Cloner.
I'm being
sits
sarcastic.
itself,
For
right?
all of you not from New England, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, fair.
It does sit snug, but they could have used duct tape.
Why don't they use the aesthetic
Yeah.
feature? Right.
Yeah, this
Gotcha.
is beautiful. All right, but look, now actually going to keep the humidity in.
Oh.
Wow, clever.
That is pretty good.
Right, I'm pretty proud of this. I mean, look, cloners cost a lot, right? And this one, I love this one, you know? A lot, like, these cloners don't come with domes. I assume people have a humid enough environment. But this is going to hold up. It's going to be great. Aeroponics, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, doing something at scale in particular. So, like, you know, if you have like a smaller hobby or whatever, you don't want to. You're just getting into it. You know, it makes sense to kind of spend the bucks to get something that's like prefab or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if you're just trying to do it your own for whatever self-fulfillment purposes,
For
or
sure.
if you're doing it at scale too, you know, like something like this, you know, it seems like you could get a lot more bang for your buck.
It's
doing it
fun.
as well.
I mean, and the reality is, like, it did cost, let's say, all of a sudden, you're probably going to spend $40, $50. Not cheap, but it's cheaper than buying a commercial cloner, which is going to cost a couple $100.
Are they that? Are they? I actually don't know how much
they're pretty
they are.
expensive.
Wow.
Yeah, reasonably. You know, it's a lot of good plastic. That being said, like the turbo cloner, the plastic's thicker, lesser risk of leaking. Although I will say mine was leaking because I didn't have the cord positioned right. So, you know, anything can go wrong. But
You know what might even be like a pretty interesting business model would be like fabbing the like clear plastic thing specifically based off lids of containers.
I was thinking that, or just building a bin with this dome. Like, I wish there was just a dome
Yeah, like
with this clear
specifically
plastic.
fit.
Basically, like, you know, something that could easily retrofit.
Even something like a part that would go in between the two.
What if you had like a clear version of this tub, like the same size?
I've
Glue
seen that.
the two lids together, so you could just
Do
pop
the entire
on
thing
the-
internally.
Yeah, you could pop the.
And that's really, you know, that's
Yeah.
what DIY is really about, right? It's always about like messing around, getting it the way you want it, learning how it actually works. And like the other nice thing about this versus like if you buy a prefab kit, like if something goes wrong with it, if something breaks on it, you might have to replace the whole system versus like I know how to build all this and now I can fix it.
Dude, that's a big thing. Remote control cars, same thing. Like if you
Yeah.
get the prefab, you have no idea when you crash it and it explodes into like particulate plastics.
That happens.
You got to figure out how to fix it. If you built it yourself, then you know all the parts, everything. All works.
Although, so Nick was my little brother's age, and I would accidentally break my brother's remote control cars growing up. And then when we were adults, I bought him this like alcohol like fuel, like really fast RC vehicle that he assembled and built and put all his work in. And
how long did it take?
Right here, he asked me. He was like, "Hey, you want to drive it?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm really worried. I don't want to break it." And so he's like, "Don't worry about it. It's easy." And so I started driving him so fast, it like fired out of range, and I didn't know what to do. So I just, in a panic, turned the controller off, which made it for some reason turn, and then just go full speed. Listen to this, right? And drive like, I don't know, 50 miles, 60, 70. I don't know how, it was going insanely fast.
Yeah, well, they'll hit
Hits
70.
a snowbank.
Ooh.
Which was perfectly angled for some reason as a jump.
Like
this
a
over there.
parabolic.
Yep, and this one on the edge
vertical
of the parking
ramp.
lot.
Yeah.
Yep, goes all over the ramp. Now, after that snowbank, there was the drop down into another parking lot. And about 20 feet further, there was a brick wall to another building.
Wow,
It fired off and then hit that wall in midair and just exploded into pieces.
And
then fell further into the parking lot, collector basin.
And I was like, I am so sorry, Nick.
It's flammable alcohol. You know.
It didn't explode in a
It
fire.
didn't explode.
Like, that could have got a lot worse now that you mentioned
Damn.
it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you could have lit that building on fire.
I mean, you could have hit a person and a bunch of stuff. I should never have been allowed to drive that. I think about it. That was dangerous.
Haunting.
So anyways, this is done, and this looks good. And
Remember when you almost hit Carlos with the drone?
all right, yeah, I can't
Oh my
run
God.
remote control cars anymore. I get it. All right.
We could have have a follow
I
up
almost hit
episode
Carlos
on
with
this.
the drone once. That happened too.
It just like came into the room and we're like, oh, the drone. And then it started going.
That's
at
right. He
Carlos.
came in. It was his fault. I didn't know what to do.
It takes two to collide. It's always
It takes two.
Takes two.
All right, so let's do a follow up on what we've done like in the previous weeks because I want to show. It's gone really well. So JT, check this out. He hasn't really seen it yet, but look at these mushrooms. Do you want to talk to people about what we're seeing? So these guys in the front, by the way, were the pink oyster mushrooms experiment I did. But 2 weeks ago, we inoculated the ones in the back. Here, let me go around the back.
Wow. Look at.
Did it work, JT? It worked.
Oh, it worked. I am honestly a bit surprised.
Really?
I was really worried it was going to get contaminated. Like the potato one.
Yeah, I remember you guys did like the three different like contamination contexts. Like one of them was like super sterile, and then like another like you worked all the way down to the potato ones.
This one's already starting to grow through.
Just completely handling it, manhandling it.
Yeah, Matt reached into one of them, so I was like, I think this. We're gonna touch all of them now.
See, the only thing you guys could have done worse would be like spit into your hands, like, and then you know.
That might have helped. You never know.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like growing up the bag trying to escape.
Oh wait,
You
the
discover
volume's
new
off
fungus
again.
that way.
I gotta
Is it
switch.
really?
I gotta switch to the iPhone. We got.
I mean, that is.
We gotta fix the button so that it'll automatically do that.
I don't know why
Scene
it's not.
change.
It was nothing's going right this week with Ecamm.
All right, so we got this one's just the control. This is just the wood chips. It's got the mycelium trying to grow up the side. It's got fruiting already happening. This one's very happy. Whoa.
Wow.
This one seems to have even more growing up the sides. There's a lot of it's like a thick layer of mycelium on the, look at those bubbles in the mycelium.
And so, by the way, before I had the fan running on this, the CO2 levels inside this aquarium were going so high that it was the monitor was giving an error message. It was hitting like 3,000 ppms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that
they're producing. I swear, I could feel warmth off them.
I see it's already starting to grow. I don't know if you can get. It's really hard to see through the bag, but I could see fruit starting to try to come up.
Nice.
But imagine how much you're spending on CO2 tanks for your grow tent.
I 100% agree. Grow oyster mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms are incredible.
Look how fast they grew. This is wooden gypsum.
That's all. The potato one does look like it's the best performer.
The potato one is nuts.
Look at that.
It's got so much growing on the top.
Tons of pins.
And so we read the ingredients on the potatoes. And what was
That's
it?
right. There's salt and garlic and onions.
It was supposed to be plain just potato powder, and it ended up being sea salt, garlic,
like a finished dish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I screwed up.
It smelled garlicky, so I thought, I wonder what's going on. And then we read the ingredients at the end. It was sea salt, pepper.
So if you want to know, yeah. All right. Here it is. Ready? So this is what I got, and I clearly did not read the ingredients, which include.
Oh, so it's a mashed potato mix.
Yeah.
Mashed potato mix.
I missed that.
Look at
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
It's pinning up here. So this is ready to rock.
Oh yeah, onion, sea salt, black pepper. So apparently,
Nice.
oyster mushrooms love it.
And not only that, your hand oils.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
just
yeah. And we went in
Oh,
with our
just
hands.
so much bad stuff was in there.
And I was expecting to see this fully green today.
So it'll turn green eventually.
No.
No, green is bad. Okay, green is bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Green is
red
bad.
mold, kind of.
Yeah.
Wait, so is green? Green is just a different fungus.
Trichoderma, yeah.
Ah, okay,
Yeah. Good call.
cool.
Yeah. Now, is it photosynthetic? Is that why it's green?
I don't think so. I think because
Just
sometimes
happens
it's
to be green?
purple.
Yeah.
I think it just happens to be green.
Can I do this?
Oh yeah.
Oh. I don't know if it will keep.
So, what now?
There you go. Now Matt.
So
and I
what
switch
now? What do we do
positions.
now?
Let's fruit
Now
it.
Matt jumps into camera
Or
frame.
do you want to? It's ready to fruit. It's already trying to make fruit.
Okay.
So
Should we do fruiting next week?
let's do fruiting next week.
All right.
Maybe leave the top off of this so we can get plenty of air. The bags seem really humid.
Okay.
I bet it'll be this one is probably already going to be having a bunch of mushrooms in there.
And I've been struggling with fruiting. I've been struggling with when to harvest, how to fruit properly. We did these pink oysters where I waited too long. The reason these bags
Yeah.
are here, which
I
they're
watched
starting to
that
show. I think this might be a little too dry. How much water were you putting compared to pellet?
1 to 1
1 to 1?
or
2 to 1?
2 to 1.
Okay. I was doing, I think I might have done 2 to 1. Feels a little dry, but it does seem like it's starting to go, but it seems like it's dry, doesn't it? Or what do you think?
Seems a little bit dry. There's a lot of humidity up on the sides up here.
You think this is working?
I think it might be moist enough.
This one's showing a little bit. I'm seeing a little bit, but I'm worried I'm
Oh.
seeing also contamination on this.
And this is the one we injected last week, right?
Oh yeah, let's go over that.
What is the backstory on those two? Because they're clearly.
So-
So those were a control.
So I did these last week. So what I had was, see this pink oyster mushroom bag right here?
This guy, yeah.
It had fruited out, and we'd waited too long, and it started smelling a little funky. We had chopped it, actually, and then forgotten to actually bring it home and cook it. And I was like, all right, this is no longer safe to eat, so maybe we could take these mushrooms and mix them up with some wood, and they'll fruit out. And I think it's starting to go, but I'm not seeing it go. I guess the other ones took a while, too, but
I've
it's been 1 week.
I've never bought my my mushrooms in log form.
Oh.
Is that like a thing that I should be doing?
Well, if you want to grow your own mushrooms, you buy these guys right
They're
here,
already like.
and then you just cut a slit. And so we did it in this Mondi Dome. So they'll send you, if you buy one of these kits, they'll give you a little mist bottle and tell you to just mist them, and it never goes well. The humidity is just not adequate. You need to keep the humidity
You got a
high.
sensor in there. The sensor
This
says
Mondi Dome
92.
worked awesome. It worked awesome. I think the CO2 might have been a little low, but for oyster mushrooms, just throwing the bag inside of a dome, if you have low humidity, it worked great. It was a great fruiting chamber.
So now you can soak that brick with water, let it absorb a bunch of water, and then refruit it.
Let's do that next week too.
Yeah.
All right, so next week you guys want to go back into mushrooms and fruit out and
We injected this one.
Yes. Look at that. It's so cool how it's growing. You can see exactly.
Yeah, there's like a wave
yeah, I don't know
of
if you guys can
expansion.
tell.
So I'm guessing the injection point was like right here.
I'm trying to get like the angle because I think the light's missing. It's hard to see with the light. You guys can kind of see that line right there. Isn't that nuts?
If you angle it, like get a little shadow on that. Oh, yeah, it's like a crater. That's kind of cool.
Sick. All right, so I think with that being said, guys, anything else we want to go over until next week?
I have one more question.
Yeah, please.
So you were talking about the CO2 levels inside of the terrarium, the mushroom terrarium.
Mm-hmm.
So are these bags like hydrogen, waterproof, but they still breathe? Is that kind of what's going on?
So these little, kind of what are they called?
You got a little
Patches allow air. It's like a HEPA level filtration, so it allows air to move through.
cool.
They still have different size pores, so depending on how worried you are about contamination or what you're worried about contaminating it, you can get a different size filter. So sometimes you're not really worried that bacteria is going to kill your mushrooms. You're just whatever, it's going to be a strong one. Growing on wood, bacteria is not going to be an issue. If you're growing something on just manure or with molasses or anything like that in it, you're going to want the finer one because nothing's going to pass through it. Where if bacteria gets through, it'll destroy the whole thing.
Yeah, it's one of the nice
That makes
things
sense,
about
yeah.
wood-loving mushrooms is there's not a lot that can
Bacteria
break
is
down
going to eat
wood.
your wood, right?
Yeah, they're really specialized in that. So, I love eating oyster mushrooms. I spend a fortune on mushrooms. We eat mushrooms at our house all the time. So
I love
shiitake,
mushrooms.
right? And so this costs $1 or $2 to make these 3 bags. It was next to nothing. It's wood pellet, which you buy those big bags to throw in a feeder to burn for fuel.
I legit wonder, caloric content wise, what is the most efficient food?
How many calories?
And the unbelievable part,
Yeah,
they don't
exactly.
require light. Mushrooms are an incredible opportunity to grow food, right? You're using old wood chips, right? I literally got
$4 for
a truck
5.
of wood chips, of oak wood chips, dumped at my yard. Some arborists had to pay $20 to dump it at my house through chip drop. So it's literally they're paying to get rid of it. You could convert that into food. Really good, expensive food.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, next week. Anything else, guys?
How is the cactus graft doing?
Oh, you want to look at that? All right. We're gonna keep going. I don't know. I don't know how the cactus graft's going. We're still afraid. I'm not gonna mess with it. I think it's going well.
I saw that episode too, man. I wasn't here for it, but the cuts.
I haven't. We need to take these elastics off. It feels like it's
He's
kind of
feeling a
starting to
little
grow. But I just don't want to pull those off and have it wobble. It'll just never be
fall over,
right. So I'm
yeah.
just let it be, keeping it somewhat well watered.
But yeah, I think even whatever you might be in terms of restriction up top, keeping the root system steady is definitely the higher priority.
Unfortunately, I did one where it was the prickly pear. I tried to do the arms on it. The
Yeah.
arms fell off. I got to retry that one.
Oh,
I got to try it
that was
again.
cool.
That one,
I do
that was the one I was
toothpicks.
thinking of actually.
Yeah.
Go to the afro.
We got to try that guy again because that would have been cool. I'm going to do it again now.
What's this here? This is your origin for the graft.
Yes. So I
this
cut.
This is how it's healing.
Yeah. It's doing good. Actually, so the top for this one, check this out. It's doing really good. And I thought it would. I popped this guy in this biochar and just slightly
it's
above
flowering.
the water line.
Oh,
And
wow.
look, it's looking great. It's flowering.
That's a happy cactus.
So that's a happy cactus. Hopefully it continues to do well like that. But overall, that grafted, for whatever, cactus do great with grafting. So,
Nice.
I don't know. Let me think. What else have we talked about? I guess we did
How are
some-
your fish?
the fish.
Oh, the fish.
Yes. In case
Oh, dude,
we
yeah.
had.
Did you cover this?
We have
'Cause-
not.
Oh my god.
It was a long week. So I don't know if I'm gonna check to make sure we're still getting this, but look at this
Look
crap.
at that. Look at that crack. Like, it's a split. This is no longer a crack. This is a.
I
This
called
is a
Nick.
split.
It was really upsetting. And
Oh.
fortunately, all the fish are doing really well. I can kind of give you guys a tour to show you.
I'll be honest. Like the amount of savings that occurred, like in terms of how many were rescued from that.
Thanks,
Like
bud.
that is a complete disaster, man.
I really, it's working. All right. Yeah, we were really fortunate. All the plecos are in here. They're doing good, as well as the algae eaters, and they've just eaten this clear. They seem all right. I feel like they could be honestly fine in here forever, but like not forever, ever. But my plan is actually under where that garden sign is. I'm going to put this 150-gallon reservoir,
Hell yeah.
like it's basically 2 of those that are down there, on the ground, and I'm going to run pumps so those tables will all be filtering the water, and it's going to sit in the middle, and I'm going to put the plecos in there.
Oh, so you're gonna do like a vertical stack? Oh, I
Yeah.
love this. This is the aquaponics thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I love that.
So I'm going to put down on the bottom, I'm going to move these cactus out. There's going to be a big table down there, and I'm probably going to use some vertical stuff up above. But then all these tables are going to have water flowing. They're going to be piped to return there into the pleco tank. And I think the plecos will be in heaven. And Nick, you've given me some awesome advice on fish, by the way. These guys, you told me to clear them out a little bit. They're doing so good. I've also changed their diet. I think that's played a big role, but they're doing a lot better. They seem really happy and healthy.
They really
Their
do.
colors are improving. They've figured out their socializing. And the angelfish. So the angelfish were also in that big cube that cracked. I have 3 of them in here, which they probably can move in here. One really interesting thing. Remember these guys down here, the cichlids, the smaller cichlids? I'm not sure if they're rams. They were always really well hidden.
Like a ram, maybe.
They're coming out way more often now that the angels are around.
Oh yeah, because the ditherfish factor.
What?
The ditherfish.
Ditherfish.
So the concept behind a ditherfish is that if you have something that'll chill in the open in like a mid-level context, fish that can see other fish are safe in a certain environment are more willing to come out. So if they're hiding in the grass and they're paranoid, because if you have no life that the fish can see, then they're not going to be the first one who's going to come out of the cave. They're not going to be the first one that's going to come out of the grass, right?
Yeah.
So if you can have something that's like not a threat to them, that's doing okay, then it gives them confidence. That's the idea of ditherfish.
That is what is happening 100%. It's really cool to see those guys moving a little more. They're still kind of sticking to. The rest of the angels are in this tank here where there were the Caridina. We were trying to fit the shrimp. They love
I
it.
haven't seen this tank before. This is really fun.
Well, I moved them in here
Look at
during
this
that
thing.
emergency, and I had to clear out tons of the vegetative matter.
Dude, that's wild. I'm gonna look
It's a nice setup, right? Is this coming through?
Yeah.
Cool. You like this tank?
I love this tank, dude. Look at these freaking angelfish, dude. I've never seen angelfish just chill in a group like this. I mean, I've only kept like individual angelfish. I've never kept a group this size.
I love these guys. I hatched these guys, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've hatched all these
full
guys.
effort.
Their parents, one of them was a koi angelfish, and the other one was more like this pattern. They all looked identical. That was like 2.5 years ago I hatched them all.
Very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool,
That
right?
looks great, dude.
Thanks, bud. So the fish, oh, here, look, these two. Yeah, they're coming out, see?
Yeah, those do look like rams.
The shrimp are probably not thrilled about the angelfish.
No, the shrimp are probably.
We're probably going to have to
interested.
restart our population.
Yeah.
But who knows? To be totally honest, I'm always surprised. I saw, like, I will see even in the discus tanks, I'll think all the shrimp are gone. When there are other fish, they tend to just hide. Like, I could see a bunch even hiding in here right now, staying safe. And as soon as the fish are gone, they start popping out again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, cool. And anything else? Sorry, it's more and more. There's
That's
always
it,
more,
man.
and I just worry I'm going to board
There's
people.
threads of legacy, man. Through as you grow the number of episodes.
Yeah.
Like there's more and more intrigue of all like these threads weaving together.
I-
Everything is related. Everything is related.
It's all interrelated. like this week's episode with next, which mushrooms probably. We'll stay tuned. We'll tell you. All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh, cheers.
And
You
now
won't.
we got to hit that button somewhere.
Where's that button? Finish?
Finish.
Find that button.